Hi everyone, welcome back to BZmiatas. In this episode, it's going to be part 3 of Poe, and we're just going to be making brackets. We need a bracket for the cluster, we need a second bracket for our ECU mounted under the dash, and then we also need a bracket for the AC controls, but I might skip on that one today. So, I don't have a pillar drill, I have a regular drill, I have an unmounted bench vise, and I have the cheapest Harbor Freight sheet metal brake. So we can use those things and still make what we need. I'll show you right now how I'm going to go about it, and then we'll get into it. Alright, for the first bracket here, we need this cluster mounted. And since we don't have the normal dash which holds this thing in place, we're going to make a bracket. We've kind of got 4 mounting points here. There's one of these on either side, and then there's 2 lower ones. So I'm going to make this out of one piece, and we might not go across the top here, but we'll come around the sides, down over, and then back up the other side. And then to mount it, we have a tab with a hole right here, and we have one on the other side here. And those will be our main ones. So this will be a plate under around there, and then we'll have tabs going back at an angle from here to there and then over that. And I think that should be strong enough to hold this in place. If we need to do anything else, like support it from the bottom across the top of this, we might be able to do that as well. So first we're going to remove the cluster, and then we're going to trace out around here onto a piece of cardboard as a template and see how that works. Alright, we got the cluster out, and I've made a few measurements. This might not all look too great, but everything's exact as far as the bottom strip of the bracket. The surround around the cluster won't actually come into play until we trace it. So for the bottom part, which I put at the top to redo it, we have tab in the hole, and then we have the angle forward to reach to the cluster itself with its holes crossed back down the same side, same thing. So now we're going to start working on making an actual cardboard template, and as long as I can get that done today, then this won't matter so much. So when I come back and it doesn't make sense to me, not that important. Alright, as I was making the template, I've done a bit of rethinking. First, I was going to make one bracket, I was going to have the little tabs bend down. That design was looking a little weak, and so as I made it, figured out I would need a second piece to it to work, and with that second piece I'd have to rivet it in or something, or use these secondary holes right there. And I just didn't like that. Then I was like, alright, well I'll make one piece for a plate across the whole back, and then make side brackets and road in. And then I realized it'd be smarter to just make each side its own bracket. So this will come back, attach there, up at the top, and then this will come around the side, and then this will bend over again to connect to the dash bar. So we're going to move forward with working on these separate side brackets for each cluster. Alright, so I went and got some 16 gauge steel, which I think is a bit thick for this, but it'll work. Cut out the first one, and I'm going to start bending it up, and then we'll work on the second one. Alright, this is one bracket mostly done. Gotta find out where the hole goes down there for the back to mount to the dash bar, and then this corner up here needs to get cut off. Interferes with the plug. Alright, I've got to do my probably first smart thing on this whole bracket and make a access hole right up here for the hole down there, so I can get a screwdriver in to screw that into the mounting tab. Alright, so I didn't record because I honestly figured it would take a lot more adjusting to get it, but this all worked out, and those two brackets are holding up the cluster. It's not, you know, it'll vibrate, but it's gonna hold up the cluster and I'll be able to drive. From the driver perspective, it's a little to the right, but I was able to just tap it down a bit and I can see all of the little ticks and all the dials. Whew. Really happy with it. Alright, now that we got those two cluster brackets together and the cluster's sitting right where I want it, let's move on to the ECU. I need to make a little bracket to hold that onto the dash bar. It has one right now, but a second one will hold it steady, and it shouldn't be too complicated, just a small thing, real quick. Alright, for the ECU, where I've relocated it, we've got the bracket on the front here, goes across, mounts there, there, and then onto the dash bar there. Now we need one holding it from the back to up here, because right now it flexes a lot, so we'll get a piece of foam tape under there to protect it as we hold it against that, and the bracket will go from the two original holes back here, and I have those screws, and then just right up to there. So 2 bends in it and a few spots drilled out, we should be good to go. Okay, this cluster bracket is done. That is solid, that won't move at all. Only thing I have to worry about now is Arizona sun. Be beaten straight down on that and get pretty hot, probably too hot. I really won't be taking this car out till after summer, but I'm really happy with the progress we've made. That's solid. That's got a little flex that's on there. It's in place. And overall, this is coming along. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I think that's going to be all for this video, part 3. Next time, we'll be working on lifting the car up, maybe rolling the fenders. I got to check out some oil leaks, and I want to get the pinion back out from my steering rack and get that welded up by somebody. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.